Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. We're going to get right into this video as we're going through Cheam, and what we're actually looking at here is the BMW part on the left hand side, and we're talking about that gentleman there who was parked the car there on double yellow lines when he could have parked in front in the empty space. Now one might say maybe there was a car there when he got there. Well, if there was, then why is he parking on double yellow lines anyway? That is not really what this particular clip's about. He nice and gently lets us pass and all's well in the world. So as we move forward, thinking nothing more of that at all, we're coming up to some lights which are going to change. Now I think my pupil does exceptionally well here, and I'll try and highlight the reasons for that. This is something that could have gone really wrong, and he didn't panic at all. Done really well. So when the cars move on the green light, you'll see that we go through a green light, and at the same time the light on the opposing side of the road is also green. And it's what the Mini does up front. My pupil reacts to that. It's got a nice distance at the moment, and just as we're getting across the crossroads, he sees the indication, so reacts, just gently comes off the gas, no harsh braking, keeps that flowing. I think that's brilliant. Now the reason I think that's brilliant in what he did was I want to show you what went on behind at that moment of reacting to that Mini, with this particular gentleman there now getting into his BMW. So we come up to the traffic lights as we have to stop and wait for them, and he ends up pulling away and he comes up behind us, and in doing so he's a little bit closer than I would like, but again that's not the point. We're always paying attention in our mirrors, as we should do, I suppose, and it's when we go across the crossing and my pupil reacts to the Mini. Watch the reaction of the BMW. I think he may have been eating whatever he picked up there, but he certainly wasn't paying attention to the road. This is way too close there. I mean, remember, this is a wide angle camera, and all my pupil was doing was reacting to that car there. Very poor indeed, but good reaction from our pupil, I think. Right, let's go on to the next one. Okay, this video is about the lady on the cyclist, straight through the red light, totally ignores it, not interested in that whatsoever. This is obviously, as I said, more and more common practice. She does stop a bit further up, but that's purely because she can't go anywhere because of the cars pulling out from the left hand side. This is a dangerous game she plays on the road. It's quite a busy road, this one, but she moves on. We pass her at the correct moment when we don't have anyone passing us. And as we move forward, the clip's not quite over yet because we are coming up to yet another red light, and yes, you know what's coming, don't you? So as we stop at the red light, has the young lady learnt from the last one that she can't keep flowing in the traffic because cars may come from the left? The answer to that is no, straight through another red light. What she needs to do is take a leaf out of the book of the guy now going to pass us on his bike. There you go, and that's how you do it. It's a red light, he waits, a nice bit of balance there until the light goes green, and that is the correct way to do it if you're using the highway. Well done, mate, very nice indeed. On this clip here, whilst we're actually talking about cyclists, this isn't all about a cyclist, it's really about the vehicle in front, who has no appreciation for cycles at all because he likes to sit in the cycle lane, which is again something that's becoming more common and quite annoying. The reason that cycle lane is there is for the safety of cyclists. So when we have a red light, they can actually scoot around cars, file past, they can sit in the front nice and clear for when the lights change, and then they can move on. If it wasn't for that cycle lane, they would be sitting between cars to keep behind the white line. Not very helpful when the car starts to move off and then they have to get on balance right off. It can be quite dangerous and a little bit unnerving. I've done that, I've been there, so I don't like it. So I think the little cycle lane up the front there is great, and that people need to be aware of that, and that's what it's there for. Now just as it's about to run into this light, the ours changed amber and that HGV is coming through. I think he made that a close call because ours wouldn't go amber until the other side was red. So I know lorries, they're a lot more difficult to manoeuvre and to move off and slow down, but that's why they need to plan a little bit better. This car here again in the middle of the road then decides to choose a lane, and he chooses the right one even though he's not passing anything. Maybe he realises ahead here we've got some roadworks and decided to get in there nice and early so he didn't get overtaken or someone got in front of him, or maybe we get in front of him. But we're not going to break speed limits, that's not likely to happen at all. But people do tend to sort of pinch into the right hand side for no reason when they're not passing. It happens a lot on dual carriageways, as we've seen in previous clips. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, this clip here unfortunately is about a learner car. I will pull them up if I see something that could have been done better. Now, as we're going around here, that learner car in front, and I never blame the learner, it's always the instructor. He's the one teaching, he's the one passing on the information, should do in good time. Why wasn't he using that lane? What I mean by that is there's a car that just passed him turning off right, but there's a car there that's pulling in. And why didn't the instructor see that and check before he gets his pupil to literally pull over like that in front of that car? That car had to react to him, and that was poor. That was poor by the instructor. There was an opportunity missed there, I think. That could have been undone a lot better than what it was. As an instructor, you're not just got to be watching your pupil, but you've got to be watching everybody else as well. This one here is what I call the typical learner abuse. The car behind, he doesn't want to be behind a learner at all. He's in a 20-mile-per-hour limit. He gets quite close to us, and as you see as we go up the road, he pinches a little bit more to the white line in the middle with the intention of going past us. The moment I see that type of thing he's doing now, I know what his intentions is, and I have to keep my wits about me so our drive doesn't get compromised. And here he goes, he's going to make the move right there, look, just as the car's passing. Really bad. On top of that, zigzag lines and a pedestrian crossing, so he couldn't have chosen a worse time. Just as well it was clear ahead, because he bombs off down the road, and I would say he's probably at least doing 30 there, at best maybe fractionally more, don't know, but either which way it is speeding, and it was an unnecessary pass. Okay, let's look at the next. Okay, this clip is another poor pass by another driver just to get past a learner. If he wanted to pass us, why didn't he pass us here, as it's two lanes? He's behind us, he's going to catch up with us, and just as we're running out of two lanes, there he is on the right, looking to pass us. He doesn't accelerate any faster than that. We have to react, and just at that point there, I had to grab the steering wheel. It unnerved my pupil. Now, what does he do? He now brakes and slows down after passing us when he's meant to be picking up speed to join the A3, not slow down. He had plenty of room there on the right, as you can see, because we fed in directly behind him. And if he really wanted to pass us that badly, why didn't he just simply do it here? It's pure learner syndrome, and the idiots that adhere to it. Okay, this clip here is the Tesla just in front of us. We're coming up some traffic lights. It changes amber in plenty of time. Look at that. He's barely creeping. He could easily stop there, chooses not to, and go through it just as it changes red. Where does it get him? Nowhere. The other side of the lights. It's just poor driving. Basically, didn't need to do that at all. He can't go anywhere. He's waiting in the traffic for the other lights to go green. But it doesn't quite end there. Not only does he go through an amber light when he probably could have stopped, and it just as it was changing red, but he even plans poorly, because he doesn't want to go right. Now, bearing in mind both lanes do actually go straight on, but if he wants to go straight on, if that was his plan, why wasn't he simply in this lane in the first place so he could flow? It's because he's just simply a poor driver and he can't plan. Or maybe he got on the right hand lane when cars are likely to turn right, in which case why didn't you just eliminate that possibility and get yourself in the left lane in plenty of time instead of driving in that manner. Now, this clip here, this is, in my personal opinion, just about a lack of patience. It's the car directly behind us that instigates everything. Now, something happens in front of our car which we have to deal with, and I try to pass on instructions to my pupil on how to deal with it. You're going to see a front part of it soon, but I just wanted to show you the cars that are building up behind. Then as we get further up the road, you'll see us braking because we see something. The car behind gets a little bit of a distance. They're also evaluating it, and we barely get a chance to react, and this car instantly, there you go, goes around us, and because of that it sets up a chain effect. I don't blame any of these cars here onwards. They think we'll probably stop breaking down, whatever the case may be, so they are going to file past us. all because the first car didn't give us a chance. And when that happens, we can't pull out anyway. We can't move. We're stuck. So if you look at the front view as we're going up the road, as I said, a little bit of patience wouldn't hurt, just a few seconds, just for us to get a head around what's going on, for me to pass on just a little bit of information about what we see and how we can progress. And I didn't even get to get the sentence out, to be honest. Now we see something going on, we see some amber flashing lights, we're not entirely, is it roadworks, something else? Turns out to be a breakdown at the end of the day. So we're not getting too close. There's a guy on the left there. There's also the guy with the high vis in the other side of the road. We're not too worried. Seeing the cars pass, they're not interested in him at all. He can just get out of their way. And then we can't move, of course, at this stage. We're then waiting. Then the RAC guy actually sees us once. So he can't even move, look. And then he basically waves us on. He says, away you go. A bit of patience there wouldn't have hurt to help the learner out, and they didn't. Not very nice, really. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, really appreciate it, helps the channel. Watch out for those learners and be nice, give us a bit of empathy, a bit of courtesy. It's much appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care and drive safely. Bye bye for now.